What's going on, guys? I'm back with another 31 Days of Halloween review, and today we're doing Us. No, not Us. The film Us by Jordan Peele. Accompanied by her husband, son, and daughter, Adelaide Wilson returns to the beachfront home where she grew up as a child. Haunted by a traumatic experience from the past, Adelaide grows up increasingly concerned that something bad's gonna happen. Her worst fear soon becomes reality when four masked strangers descend upon the house, forcing the Wilsons into a fight for survival. When the masks come off, the family is horrified to learn that each attacker takes the appearance of one of them. Now, coming off his debut hit and Get Out, Jordan Peele gives us another banger in Us. Us is a very fresh concept when it comes to the horror genre, where it has creative setups and ideas shown through loads of imagery and foreshadowing, ultimately feeling like a giant puzzle by the end of it. Jordan Peele knows how to pace out a film and keep an audience engaged. Although this one can be a bit of a slow roller at first, it was all necessary to build what was to come, where it helped create this eerie, creepy, and unsettling tone throughout almost the whole film. There is so much to praise about this film, like the story, the twist, the score and music, and everything else around it. But for me, the showstopper was the characters, and more importantly, Lupita Nyong'o, who absolutely stole every scene she was in. She put out a magnificent performance where she really sold every single emotion and action she gave, making it easy to invest in her character and want to know more about her. Not just with Lupita, but everybody else around her as well showed great range in their roles, while also showing great chemistry with one another, making it easy to believe that this is a real family. Although Lupita stole the show, everybody had their time to shine in their own way, whether it was delivering a piece of dialogue or executing an action sequence. For most people, the script can definitely be a bit of a mixed bag, but for me, a lot of it worked, even most of the comedy, where it helped break up what could have been an oversaturated tone, if that makes sense. One of the other pieces that really stuck out to me, before getting into the issues of the film, was the camera work. It's odd to already say what we come to expect, but Jordan Peele just knows his way around the camera. There were so many memorable and dazzling shots in this film, giving us a wide variety of one-takes, sweeping shots, and even the close-ups to add tension to each scene. His shot selection is top of the line, with it all being handled extremely well. Although there's tons to praise about this film, it doesn't come without at least a few flaws, right? I'll give it a few that don't include spoilers, and then we're going to get into some spoilers. One of the issues I have, which kind of contradicts what I said earlier, is the tones to the film. I can appreciate the comedic aspect along with the timing to it, but this one gets just a bit jumbled up. It can range from a horror film to an action film, then with comedy sprinkled all across bits of the film, so it can be a bit distracting at times.
Ophelia, call the police.
Sure, playing Fuck the Police by NWA.
Another issue I had, with this being a horror film, you can almost already assume there's going to be some gore and death. The main characters, more so the kids, don't really act like kids going through a traumatic experience. Just an example, right about when the second act gets going, they're already desensitized to the dead bodies and the blood, to where their reactions are fairly minimal. Maybe I'm just soft, but if I was a young teenager and saw all these bodies, not to mention the type of people that were after them, I probably would fold at every corner. But that's just me. Peele probably didn't want them to feel like a nuisance and to be brave model characters, but a little more realism would have certainly benefited here. Now onto the spoilers. That's your warning, so if you don't want to hear them, skip to this timestamp. One of the bigger issues for me was the vast amounts of plot armor and the minimal risk that ultimately follow that. There's bits of this film where the other characters get absolutely melted in no time, but when our main characters get attacked, they end up getting away, and when they attack back, it seems like they do a lot more damage. For example, when the antagonist got stuck with the fire poker from the side characters, nothing happened, they just walked it off. But one swing from a putter from a child, and it knocks them unconscious for a little bit amount of time. One of the other small issues I had was in the beginning of the film. They called the cops, and they said they were going to be there in 14 minutes, so unless I missed something, unless I checked out for a second, they didn't even show up. Overall, Us was a great time. It seemed like it got somewhat of a bad rap from some people, being called boring, but I was tapped in the entire time due to the way the film was paced out and how the story unfolded. Jordan Peele has himself another showing for his passion in filmmaking. Us gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Let me know what you think of Us in the comments below, and let me know what film you'd like me to review next. See you guys on the next one.